Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the SS Ultimate Goku. Back with another video. Hope you guys having a good day. So, once again, I don't like being a broken record with these Spider-Man Venom stream videos and videos in general. Because God, there's just so much shit coming out every day when it comes to this stuff. But most of the shit isn't valid, and some of the other stuff is just fanboys spreading bullshit that isn't true. People keep saying that these dudes are still in negotiations, even though Kevin Feige and Tom Holland confirmed at D23 that it's over. Spider-Man's no longer in the MCU. Marvel fanboys, MCU fanboys still want to keep climbing on the hope that this deal is going to go through and that there's going to be, Tom Holland is going to continue being Spider-Man. And you guys know my whole stance on this. I don't care about Spider-Man, I care about Venom. But because Venom is in the Spider-Man franchise, I have an invested interest to cover this story, because obviously I went to see Venom, which in my opinion, I don't care what all you MCU fanboys say about Infinity War and all this shit, Venom 2018 in my opinion was the movie of the year. You guys want to say Infinity War was great, fine, whatever, I don't care. But you know what, I say Venom was better. Group movies to me, so far, most of the group videos that I have seen, I just am not big. I'm not big of the Avenger movies. I didn't like the first Avengers movie. I didn't like Age of Ultron. I thought the movies were vastly overrated. I liked the groups. And this is not me being a DC fanboy, because I hated the Justice League movie. Okay? I thought that movie was just bad all around. They screwed up Batman. Batman is my second favorite superhero, only to Goku, which I know some of y'all are still gonna not count Goku as a superhero, but he is. I've already proven that. But for all my Dragon Ball Z fans, in terms of DC and Marvel, Batman would be my favorite superhero. No, not every DC movie. There's some DC movies I like. Obviously the pre-DCEU movies with the original Batman movies. Obviously the Nolan trilogy was very good for Batman. Wonder Woman, obviously. I love the Wonder Woman film. Not every DC film was bad. That Batman v Superman, that freaking the Justice League movie. Yeah, the Wonder Woman movie. They made a Wonder. You didn't watch the Wonder Woman movie? Come on now. Come on now. But my point being is, I'm not being biased towards Marvel or DC. I watch the movies that I like, okay? I watch the movies I like. The movies of the heroes I want to watch, those are the movies I watch. And I personally, from my personal experience, I prefer the solo movies over the group movies, because these group movies, every time I watch them, they're always cluttered and they just never make sense. They just never made sense to me. Every time I watch the Avengers movies, I never got a chance to watch Endgame, but like the freaking the Age of Ultron and the original Avengers movie just did not do it for me. So I just was not into that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not my cup of tea. But if you guys like that, that's fine. But I just was not into it. So I've just tried to avoid those Avengers movies. Captain America: Civil War was pretty good. Obviously, I like the idea of Iron Man versus Captain America. It really should have been just called Captain America versus Iron Man, because that's what the whole plot of the movie was. But they called it Captain America: Civil War instead. But whatever. But that was probably one of the best group movies I've seen so far. I would think, just on top of my head right now. You know what I'm saying? But this whole Spider-Man shit. And there's just a lot of BS. Okay, there's a lot of BS out there. These rumors and these things. Comic Book Cast 2 just continues to milk this shit. It's just, like. So, I want to talk about this right now. So, okay, so some people, there's a video that was made by Cass. Again, another stupid video, but whatever. He made a video talking about how, Holland is not obligated to do the Sony movies or whatever. And how, he shouldn't do it because, like, Kevin Feige and Disney handpicked this guy or whatever. I want to tell you guys something. This is the biggest bullshit lie he has said, and even his comment section in his video that he made, okay, debunked his ass on the shit. Okay, that is how pathetic some of his shit is. And it's just, oh my god. Okay, Sony casted Tom Holland as Spider-Man, not Disney. You want to know who Disney wanted to be Spider-Man? It wasn't Holland. It was Charlie Plummer. And I'll put his, his credentials and stuff like that. That's who they wanted. That is who they wanted. Sony overruled Disney and freaking had Tom Holland be casted. If anything, Tom Holland should be grateful for Sony. Tom Holland should be grateful. Sony casted that guy, and I'm sure Feige had some type of influence too in the casting process, but freaking Disney did not want Tom Holland. Okay, if they had full control of this shit, Tom Holland would not be your Spider-Man. It would have been Charlie Plummer. Okay, people in his own comment section debunked Comic Book Cast on this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. These multiple sources. His multiple sources, right? Which is probably just his podcast buddies. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people do. But my point is Disney did not pick this dude. Okay, Disney did not pick Tom Holland. That's the thing. That's my point, though. People are saying, well, he's not obligated. He shouldn't do this because he's not in the MCU and all this other shit. But Sony were the people that casted this dude as Spider-Man. He was the one who casted him, okay? And, these people that are spreading this full of stupid bullshit, okay? How they're still in negotiations. Oh, this. Oh, that. Oh, this could still happen. This could happen. It's not happening. Holland's confirmed it. Feige confirmed it. Why are you guys on this whole mindset that somehow something is going to happen? They've all made official statements. Sony made an official statement. Feige made an official statement. Tom Holland made an official statement to say, oh, Tom Holland, he's not obligated to be Spider-Man, right? He doesn't have to, be Spider-Man for Sony. Dude, he is going to continue being Spider-Man. For one thing, he already said he's going to be still Spider-Man. He publicly said that. He ain't going to go back on that. And Sony obviously aren't going to recast him. They're going to keep him. They're going to keep him. Okay, so they're not getting rid of him. They're not getting rid of Holland as Spider-Man. And obviously, he already publicly said at D23 that he's going to still be Spider-Man. Okay? And to be completely honest with you, do you really think Holland, okay, do you really think he is going to step down as Spider-Man just because he's not in the MCU anymore? Do you really think that? Do you know how big a role Spider-Man is? Okay, and you're just going to give that up? If you give that up, you're screwed. What is he going to do? Where else is he going to go? I mean, yeah, he's got these couple other projects with Pixar and stuff like that, but where the money train is going to continue to end? Where's it going to keep going? It's going to be gone. You're going to be looking for other brands. Tobey Maguire, right? Ever since he got recasted, okay, from being Spider-Man, what has he done? What major role has he done? Okay, this is so dumb that people are thinking, oh, he's gonna abandon Sony. He's gonna abandon Sony because he's not in the MCU. No, he is not. If anything, he's probably gonna get a raise, which you got to get that money. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, he's not gonna leave. He's not gonna leave Sony high and dry just because he's not in the MCU. Okay. Holland does have a few movie appearances left, but I guarantee you he's going to be getting more, because it would be stupid on Holland's part to leave an iconic role away and then try to find a new job somewhere else. Because, he can't go back to the MCU as Spider-Man, obviously, without a deal. So, and he can't go back and be another superhero in the MCU because everyone knows that Holland's is Spider-Man. So what are you going to do? You're going to be like, oh, just cast me as another superhero. They ain't going to do that. That's stupid. So, he's going to be Spider-Man. He's not leaving. He's not leaving Sony. He's not going to leave Sony high and dry. That would be a stupid business move on his part if he did that. That would just be dumb. That would just be incredibly dumb. You got to see this as a bit. You got to look at this in a business standpoint. You gotta look at this as a business standpoint. He's not gonna hurt his career by abandoning Sony as Spider-Man and then risk not getting other roles elsewhere, because he can't get a role in the MCU now as another superhero because everyone knows him as Spider-Man in the MCU. He can't go and get another role, somewhere else with another superhero role or whatever. You can't. It's just, it wouldn't make business sense for Holland. Obviously, Sony isn't going to get rid of him because that would be stupid on their part. Because then they'd be scrambling around for another Spider-Man, so they ain't going to get rid of him. Holland's not going to leave because, like I just laid out, it wouldn't make no business sense for his career. So he's going to be there. He's going to be in the Sonyverse, whatever that is. I don't know if it's going to be called, they're going to change. Right now it's the Venomverse, but I don't know, with Spider-Man now being the Venom. I don't know if because my thing was, I loved Venom without Spider-Man. I loved that movie. I seen that movie 3 times. I don't see a movie 3 times. I seen that movie 3 times. No bullshit. I went to see that movie 3 freaking times. Okay? I loved that Venom movie. Okay? I still say that was the best film in 2018. Okay, I liked Venom without Spider-Man, which of course I don't really like Spider-Man, but I like Venom, and I liked the way they did that. And I was, for Venom 2, I was really hoping it was just going to be Venom, Venom versus Carnage. But now it seems like Spider-Man is going to be involved in that film somehow. They might even change it to Maximum Carnage. They might change it to Venom Maximum Carnage or something like that, and have Spider-Man appear in it. I don't know. But I just liked that film for what it was, and I was very happy with it. But we got people that are just spreading just false information, and people just my God, it's just so annoying. It's just so dumb. Love to see the live-action Spider-Verse movie with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, and Andrew Garfield. Maybe. I heard rumors that they might be doing that. I don't know exactly if it's true or not. But basically, with the MCU contract over, they can pretty much fart out any live-action Spider-Man movies they want. I don't know what exactly order they're. Got Venom 2 and they got Morbius, slated for next year. And they only did the MCU one, but they didn't really work on that. And it doesn't seem like they're having anything else this year for it, besides those films that are coming out next year. I heard they're doing a Gwen Stacy movie though, coming up for 2021. 2021, I heard they're going to do a Gwen Stacy movie. I don't know if they're doing live action Into the Spider-Verse. But if they did do a live action Into the Spider-Verse, I think it would have to be different from the cartoon one, though. You know, if you're gonna have Garfield and Maguire and all that shit, like, and then of course you have Miles. I mean, with that movie though, you can spread out a lot of different universes. You can spread out different alternate universes, like that could spin off into other Spider-Man movies. Like if they wanted to ever do Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4, that could spin off into another movie. You know what I'm saying? And or Morales, you can spin off to Morales' own, you know, canon. You know, because that's a different universe altogether from possibly the Venomverse. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different things that Sony can do as long as they're still in business. Which another thing, we already debunked that too. For anybody that says that, oh, Spider-Man, you know, if Sony gets bought by whoever, Apple, whoever they want to buy, people I keep hearing the stupid comments, and I keep telling people, go to watch John's show. Okay, John C., I want to say this because this guy is an actual reliable YouTuber. He actually has a show. He actually has guests that have people in the film industry that actually are more closer to the situation than our little clickbait or comic book cast. Okay? He explained this. He explained already, as long as Sony stays as an active company and is not breaking up into parts, the Spider-Man rights stay with Sony. Okay? This whole bullshit that, oh, if Apple buys Sony, you know, that's it for the rights, you know, it just goes right back to Marvel. That's not true. Comic Book Pass is full of shit with that. And most of the other people that don't know anything about how businesses work don't understand the concept. It's been explained multiple times. I explained it on my video several times. People don't seem to understand and don't understand how business works. But, you know, because they're too fanboyish when it comes to Spider-Man. With their little MCU, you know, rage. Well, that's my thing. Yeah, they could do that too. There's a lot of different Spider-Man movies they can do. And I'm surprised they haven't tried any of them, you know, while Spider-Man, the regular Spider-Man, was occupying the MCU, since they're technically it's not the Peter Parker Spider-Man. I don't know exactly how the contract was drawn up, but you know, to my understanding, you know, it was only for Peter Parker Spider-Man in the MCU, so I don't know why they didn't try, you know, other shit, you know, while they were waiting, you know, obviously they did Into the Spider-Verse, but that was animated, you know, there's a bunch of different Spider-Man things they can try. Yeah, Venom. I don't really like Spider-Man. I like Venom. Obviously, Carnage is pretty cool. You know, pretty cool, badass villain. I'm not big on Spider-Man. I'm just big on Venom. I love Venom. I love the Venom character. I waited 15 years for a Venom film after that stupid Spider-Man 3 film. Oh my god, this. Oh, such a bad adaptation. Yeah, so we got that Venom. Finally got that Venom. And that's what I was loved about it, because I loved that Venom was by himself. I love that Venom. Love that Venom. But yeah, that's my point though. Is like these people just don't seem to understand how these businesses work. And you got people like Comic Book Cast that aren't making the situation any easier, because he continues making videos. He's going to continue covering it. He's going to continue lying to fans and stretching the truth. Shouldn't say exactly lying, he just stretches the truth. There are some blatant lies that he does do, like I said, with this whole thing with Tom Holland. You know, he indirectly makes these people the villains. Like in one of his other videos, he was like, you know, I'm going to go see the movie no matter what. You know, even Dark Phoenix, I went to go see that movie, as you trashed that movie too, you know, 5 times over, right? Which, respectfully, it deserved it, because Dark Phoenix was a shitty movie, but I'm not defending it, but I'm just saying, like, you know, now he's trying to, you know, say, oh, I'll go see any Marvel movie. I'll go see any Marvel movie, even if it is not from me. See, in other videos, he says the opposite. It's just, oh my God, it's just, God, dude, and like, man, no, he's not watching that. I don't care. I'm just saying, like, I call it like I see it. I call it like I see it. Like, you know, doesn't get his information. And just look at the Hugh Jackman thing he did. You know, Hugh Jackman, you know, when he said that thing about NBC, or when he was, you know, making that announcement on NBC, right? You know, the announcement was that day when he made the video, and when he put the video up, it had been 3 hours late. Hugh Jackman already made the announcement on NBC, and yet this guy is making a video 3 hours later after he makes that announcement saying that, oh, you know, Hugh Jackman's going to make an announcement on NBC like a week from now. Like, I could have totally owned him on that video because that was so stupid. I think I did leave a comment on him, but I didn't make a video about it because it was just so dumb. It was just so dumb. It just made no sense. Like, and this just tells you, you know, how, you know, outdated he is when it comes to this shit too. You know, I mean, there's so many videos I can just like just tell him. Oh yeah, and the whole thing about Captain Marvel too. Captain Marvel, he claimed, you know, how, you know, how everyone was hating on, all the critics were hating on Captain Marvel, right? All critics were hating on Captain Marvel, but everyone went to go see it, right? Made billions of dollars, right? Okay, you want to know something? He said the complete opposite when it came to Venom. Okay, because the Venom had an 89% attendance rate, and the critics were bashing Venom. Just like they did at Captain Marvel. Not as bad, but they were still bashing it. Okay, they were still bashing it, right? And then he tried to say, oh, with Venom, you know, look at all these critics, they're all hating on it. They're all hating on Venom, right? They're all hating on it. But for Captain Marvel, it was, oh, you know, all these critics are so bad, right? All these critics are so bad. They had to make a rule change. Rotten Tomatoes had to make a rule change, right? It's just so dumb, man. Like, dude, oh my God. It's just like, you just can't, like, you can't be consistent for once when it comes to these, when it comes to making these videos. Oh my God. But my point being is, in all seriousness, getting back to the seriousness of this video, my point being is that Venom, Spider-Man, yeah, I know, right? He should be, because, and also Sony were the people that wanted him to be Spider-Man. Not Disney wanted Charlie the plumber as Spider-Man, and Sony overruled and got Tom Holland to be Spider-Man. So without Sony, people don't seem to understand this. Without Sony, Tom Holland would not be Spider-Man. They made the decision to have Holland be Spider-Man. Disney wanted Charlie Plummer to be the Spider-Man. Okay, you know, and they were all seeing these people complaining about how, you know, Tom Holland should leave Sony high and dry. You know, Tom Holland should be grateful that Sony hired him. If that's true, which, according to the reports I've seen, you know, from everyone that I've talked to, even people in his comment section, again, Comic Book Cast made a video earlier today saying Tom Holland is not obligated to be Sony, which, you know, I mean, I guess it's true, but he's still got a 2-pitcher contract, so, I mean, he's got to still be Sony unless he wants to, like, lose some money, you know, for sitting out at home. But point being is, if, you know, if the information is true, he should be grateful that Sony made him Spider-Man, because according to what I've heard is Charlie Plummer was supposed to be Spider-Man if Disney had made the decision to make him Spider-Man, that was what would have happened. So, you know, to me, I feel like Tom Holland should be kind of a little more kind of grateful to Sony here in this sense. That's where I take this at, you know. And you know, when they end up doing that Venom that Venom versus Spider-Man film, whenever it comes out, 2 years, 4 years from now, I'll tell you one thing. That's gonna be a fucking, excuse my French, that's gonna be a freaking good film. Okay, because you're gonna have the fight that everyone wants to see. You know, people want to see those two fight. Okay, people want to see a good story. Obviously, it's gonna have to be a little different because Venom 1 already happened, and that was him by himself. So already Eddie Brock has the symbiote, so they're gonna have to find a way for somehow the symbiote like go to Spider-Man and then go back to Eddie Brock, so then Eddie Brock can get that, you know, spider symbol, you know, that he doesn't have in the movie right now. They're gonna have to figure out a way to do that since he already is like attached to him right now. I'm sure they'll figure out a way to do it, but they're gonna have to figure out a way to do it now. Point being is that film's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen with Carnage, like kind of like what they did with the video game. You know, in the video game they did, you know, the Maximum Carnage thing. Venom and Spider-Man teamed up to take on Maximum Carnage. That could happen in Venom 2. Or it could set up something. There's a different lot of things they could end up doing. I personally think Venom 2 is just going to have Carnage and Venom in it. I don't think Spider-Man will be in it, but I could be wrong. Or, like I said, they might... I don't know if they're going to have Spider-Man and Venom go up against each other until Venom 3. Which could be Venom versus Spider-Man. I don't know what they're planning on that, like, because right now the story's already established with Venom. You gotta now kind of, you know, you almost have to do the third Spider-Man movie. You almost have to do the third Spider-Man movie, to kind of salvage to why he's in this universe now. What's up? What's up, Jet? You almost have to do that. You almost have to do that to kind of salvage and make sense of why he's here now. You know, from where they left off. And by the way, I also want to say something right now about the whole Tom Holland Spider-Man can't mention, you know, people from the MCU anymore. May I remind you that when Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was around, one of the characters actually mentioned Superman in it, which last time I checked, Superman is a DC property. So you know, I was watching someone who mentioned that on a video. I was like, he's got a good freaking point right there. I don't remember for the life of me who the YouTuber was that I watched that mentioned that. I was like, yeah. That makes sense. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, so point being is if they can mention a DC character in a Marvel movie, why can't they mention characters from other Marvel franchises? Yeah, I already know that. I just said that. I said that already. I said that earlier, that, yeah, I know why Venom doesn't have the spider symbol. I said that. Because Spider-Man wasn't in the movie. And they never... Because in the origins, for anybody who doesn't know, in the origins of Venom, the symbiote originally went to Spider-Man, but then Spider-Man went, like, ape shit and didn't want Venom anymore. Basically, the symbiote then went to Eddie Brock. Obviously, in Venom 1, they didn't do that because Spider-Man wasn't in the movie, and it was just about Venom. So he just went right to Eddie Brock instead. Which is why, if Spider-Man is in Venom 2 or appears in Venom 3, they would have to figure out, you know, how they're gonna, like, put the symbiote on Spider-Man because he's already on Eddie Brock. That's what I'm saying, like, they're gonna have to figure out a way to have somehow the symbiote go to... Somehow they're going to have to get the symbiote to go to Spider-Man, and then it's going to have to reject it in, like, I don't know, like, quick fashion or something like that, and then have it go back to Eddie Brock, because then if it goes back to Eddie Brock, then Eddie Brock will have the spider thing on his chest then, at that point. But yeah, I already knew about that. I definitely mentioned it earlier. But, But my point being, getting back to my point being though, getting back to the whole topic about them not mentioning like Tony Stark or not mentioning other Disney Marvel characters, Sony actually can mention those characters. They just can't like show them. Like they can't show the face of Tony Stark. They can't show flashbacks. They can't show like other things, because literally in one of the Spider-Man films, I don't know which one it was, but I can't remember the life of me who the YouTuber or it was that like talked about this, but he had said that one of the characters in one of the old Spider-Man films had said Superman in it, which is a DC property, obviously. So point being is, this whole notion that they can't mention Tony Stark to me is ridiculous. Now, some people are saying they can't use the MCU costume for Spider-Man. That's not really a big issue. All they have to do is just redesign the costume. And, you know, the costume's been redesigned 3 different times. The costume has been redesigned 3 different times, guys. Like, Tobey Maguire's costume is different from Andrew Garfield's costume, and Andrew Garfield's costume is different from Tom Holland's costume. They've all been differently designed, so I don't think it's going to be an issue for them to redesign Tom Holland's Spider-Man costume, its basic costume, because obviously they're not going to use the, you know, the Iron suit or whatever, Iron Man suit. Yeah, I heard about J.K. Simmons was in Far From Home. I don't know how they're going to do a fan film if Maguire's not in it. I don't know. He said they're doing a fan film. I don't know. People do fan films all the time, though. Some of them are really good. I mean, the Dragon Ball Light of Hope was a really good fan film. That was like the best. That was the best Dragon Ball like film we've ever gotten. That was a fan-made film. I think Tom Holland should be thankful to Sony, and it'd be Venom. Yeah, he should be, because he's the reason why he got casted. Freaking Disney wanted Charlie Plummer. Disney wanted Charlie Plummer, Charlie Plummer, or whatever. Yeah, I'm not making this up. That's what the actor's name was. They wanted him to be Spider-Man, and Sony overruled and had Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So, you know. Venom 2 being rated R, I don't think that's happening. Unless Carnage is, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are saying Carnage should be in a rated R film. Carnage is definitely the villain of, you know, I heard there's going to be like a different direction. Venom is definitely in that film. Or not Venom. I'm sorry. Carnage is definitely in that film. Cletus Cassidy. Yeah, but, you know, my point is like, I'm just so sick of, you know, Comic Book Cast and some of these other people that are reporting things that aren't true. You know, the MCU, you know, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. Look at all these petitions, dude. The same website that's doing this petition of, you know, Spider-Man staying in the MCU, right? There is another petition on that website, and that's about getting Spider-Man 4 made, you know, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Okay? There's like billions of signatures of that shit. And I don't see Sony anytime soon doing a Spider-Man 4 for Tobey Maguire, right? So, you know, this freaking, like, hey, we're gonna boycott the Spider-Man to Sony until he's in the MCU again. That shit ain't happening. You all are gonna go watch it. You're all gonna go watch it. You're all gonna like it. You know, this is absurd. Like, this is some, you know, but just like how people were gonna boycott Captain Marvel, right? Which Captain Marvel was shit. Okay, with Brie Larson and all her stupid comments. Okay, and yet that shit made $1 billion. Okay, so, you know, if that shit can make $1 billion, okay, You gonna tell me that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not gonna make $1 billion just because it's not in the MCU anymore? You know, it's just, you know, these people don't get what they're talking about. You know, I'm telling you how it really is. I'm telling you how this shit's gonna go down. The film's gonna do good. Venom's gonna do good. Venom 2 is probably gonna get $1 billion. Okay? You bank on that. Friggin' Venom made over $850 million. Okay? Friggin' over $850 million. Okay, with, you know, a newer director, a less experienced director. Okay? And the film did very good. In my opinion, was film of 2018. Okay, Venom was film of 2018, right? Okay, versus you know, Venom 2, which is going to have a more experienced director now, because they have a new director now for Venom 2. Okay, and you're going to tell me that this film ain't going to make $1 billion? This shit's going to make $1 billion. Okay. Comic Book Cast just doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, he'll say that the critics are right with Captain Marvel. He'll say the critics are right with Captain Marvel, or they're wrong with Captain Marvel, I'm sorry. They'll say the critics are wrong with Captain Marvel, but then he'll say the critics were right with Venom. You know? Make up your mind, dude. Make up your damn mind. No, but that's not the topic we're talking about right now. That's not Google News, buddy. But, yeah, guys, I just... oh my god. Yeah, but that's my take on this, guys. You know, this is how I say it, guys. This is how I see it. I'm gonna pretty much wrap this shit up. All the end, you know, Spider-Man's in Sony, and that's the end of it. That's just the end of it, guys. You know, man, just gotta get used to it. You know. But Venom 2, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to my Venom. I'm looking for my Dak Venom up in here, guys. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I am the Ultimate Goku, and I'm here. Peace!